Joining me on the podcast right now is Greg Nickoli. He's the superintendent from Pioneer. Hello, Greg. Good morning.
Good morning. It's great to be here. Thanks for having me. I love the podcast concept.
Do you really? Good.
I think we mentioned before we came on here that I can talk a lot. So, I can make this podcast go a couple hours if you need it.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll see. We'll see how long it goes. So, Pioneer, what's going on now? We talked before we went on the air about some of the challenges you have with COVID right now, and now this kind of different things that you did to kind of how do you guys work with that?
Well, I have to be honest with you. We came in this school year with the mindset that we were going to be as normal as possible, knowing that we might have to make some adjustments along the way. And so, quite frankly, up until Thanksgiving, we really had very minimal cases. We'd have a case pop up every now and then, but it was fairly minimal. And then, like most of the schools and most of society, we saw a little bit of an increase after Thanksgiving, but we really didn't make any major adjustments in that 3-week period. Of course, now that we're back from the holidays and we have the new variant out there that seems to be a lot more contagious, we've seen an uptick in cases. So we really haven't. We have more students with the different guidelines now. We have more students wearing masks and staff members wearing masks, but we've been fortunate that it hasn't hit us horribly hard. So we haven't had to make major adjustments, but it's something we keep an eye on pretty closely. In fact, every day.
So masks aren't mandated there; they're just
they're strongly recommended. Obviously, they are mandated for certain students. If a student tests positive, they have to remain home. I have to isolate for 5 days, but then when they return, then they wear them for an additional 5 days. Okay. So we have that same policy in most schools.
Yeah, that's changed. That's a recent change.
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
from the CDC.
Very new. Yeah. And that's been a good thing just from a standpoint. It gets kids back in school and quite frankly, for us, that's so critical because we're so hands-on.
Sure.
It's tough to do hands-on from home. So that's been an area where we've struggled when we've had kids who've had to stay home for long periods of time, is to get them, keep them caught up or get them caught up when they get back.
Let's talk about Pioneer. If someone isn't familiar with Pioneer, what is Pioneer?
Well, it's kind of interesting. We are a lot of folks in this area might remember, especially folks my age and you hit your 50s, and so you probably remember us as Pioneer Joint Vocational School.
When I was in school, that's what it was called.
Yeah, that was our name. I think I'm a little bit of an amateur historian, so I think we changed back in about 1998, I think, or so. We changed to Pioneer Career and Technology Center. But really, what we are is we are the career tech provider for 14 school districts, all the school districts here in Crawford County. We're the way that students can access career technical training. So I guess I look at it this way. Most of our labs are very expensive to start up and to run. So it wouldn't make sense to put a welding lab in each school in Crawford County. You'd probably have to spend $500,000 in each one for 4, 5, 10 kids a year. So that whereas we can run one lab and serve 50 to 75 kids a year. So it's a kind of a scale of economic mindset to rather than put programs in each school, have one local site or one singular site and have kids come to us. So that's kind of what we are now. We're very fortunate here in North Central Ohio in that. We are actually the 5th largest career center in Ohio. The only schools that are larger than we are in the large metropolitan areas, the Cincinnati, Columbus, Cleveland, Toledo areas. So
wow, that's a lot to be said.
Yeah, it's really neat. Yeah. So we have a lot of students that take advantage of our programs every year, and we have a fairly significant number of offerings. We have about 35 different programs. So a wide array of programming for just about every interest that a student might have.
And not just high school students, adults too, right?
Yeah. We have a full array of adult ed programs. Unfortunately, our adult ed program is not as extensive as our high school offering. So a lot of times we have folks that are interested in something that we offer on the high school side that we don't duplicate on the adult ed side. But quite frankly, if we get enough interest and we see a pattern of interest, a lot of times we'll run a class of adults.
Wow, yeah. So how somebody's interested, wants to know what classes are available if you're an adult? How do you find out?
Well, I would suggest 2 ways. Number one, if you're tech savvy, computer savvy, just jump on the internet, pioneerctc.edu. check out our website. We have an adult education page, and it works really well. It's fairly easy to navigate. If not, folks are more than welcome to give us a call at 419-347-7744. Just ask for adult education, and we'll put you through to, and one of our secretaries or adult ed director will answer the phone and answer any questions you might have.
Yeah.
One of the really nice things about adult education right now is there are lots of opportunities for financial aid. So quite frankly, finance shouldn't be a reason why somebody wouldn't access our adult ed programming.
And Pioneer is great, and you know, we always talk about kids going to college. Not everybody's going to go to college,
right.
But there is that skill gap that everybody talks about that is really a crisis right now, where we don't have these students that are graduating that know how to do certain things that the manufacturing industry, for example, needs, right?
Right. Oh, very, very definitely. Well, you know, we've kind of changed our messaging, if you will, over the last 10 or 15 years. We're not about not going to college. We're not about going to college. We're about helping students, both adults and high school students, identify what kind of career it is they want, and then we try to guide them on the pathway that will get them there the most cost effectively. So, you know, obviously, you know, depending on what you do, you go into healthcare. If you're going to be a nurse, you're going to be a physical therapist, occupational therapist, respiratory therapist, you know, those types of things. You're gonna need some school beyond high school. You know, you can't do those things without college. And so if that's the direction that a student wants to go, we guide them in that direction, and we show them what the most cost-effective way to get there is. There are other careers, and you know, the ones that stand out the most or the most familiar with folks are, you know, the welding career. A high school student can graduate with multiple certifications and jump into the workforce making really, really good money right out of high school. In fact, through if they access our early job placement program, they can start the summer right after their junior year and work a good portion of their senior year, and so, you know, they can be well established in a career before they even graduate from high school. So it's really about what fits the student, what they want, and you know, kind of what the best pathway is for each individual student. So that's really kind of how we look at college versus workforce and everything in between. Of course, like I said, we do have the adult ed programs that are typically much lower cost than college, and very specific credential granting programs.
What are some of the classes that are in adult education?
Probably our three biggest programs, most heavily accessed. Our welding program is always full, and again, a lot of times we'll get, there may be folks who are already in some local business, just want to kind of refine their skills a little bit, so they'll come over and get some additional training. But a lot of times we also have those folks who've never welded before, and they walk through the door, and I've heard about this, I've seen jobs advertised, and they want to try it and give it a shot. So we kind of take everybody from all levels of experience. Our certified medical assistant, our CMA program, is another one that's very popular. Obviously, with the situation that healthcare facilities are in, those folks are in great demand. Anybody that's got any kind of healthcare training can you know, access jobs. You know, as soon as they have their credentials, they can go right into the workforce. Our STNA, State Tested Nurse Assistant program, is another healthcare program that would kind of fall into that pattern. And then we have lots of individual credentials. Microsoft, the Office suite of credentials for those folks who might want to get into some sort of office type profession and don't feel comfortable that they have the background. We have several levels of those. So if you have no experience, we can get you started. But if you have some experience and you just want to advance, you can take advantage of that. Some of the more fun programs that are kind of special interest programs, we're currently, as we speak, running a cake decorating class. So that's that meets a couple of times for a few hours to give folks that experience if that's something they're interested in. Cake and cookie decorating. We do a deer processing program typically around hunting season. You know, we'll end up with some folks who are interested in that. So we try to do some fun things as well, just kind of special interest type programs.
Again, check out the website if you want information on that.
Yeah, definitely. The website's probably the easiest way to just explore all the offerings. If you have specific questions, though, I'd suggest a phone call would work well.
You have sophomore visitation coming up, but the dates may change, correct?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah. Right now, we're scheduled for January 26th and 27th with an open house on the evening of the 27th. And our sophomore visits, our sophomore experiences, we would invite all of the sophomores from all of our 14 partner schools. So that obviously that includes the the 6 Crawford County districts to come over, and they would explore in depth 4 of our programs. So they would join us for about half a day, spend 30 or 40 minutes in each of 4 programs, and kind of just get a better feel for what it's like, what the program's like, what types of opportunities are available once they complete the program. Kind of get to know the instructor, some of the other students, some of the current students in the program, just to get a better feel, to find out if it's a good fit for them. One of the challenges we face, obviously, with the uptick in COVID cases in our county, we are looking at possibly postponing our sophomore visits for about a month and bumping that back into February. So that would put us at February 23rd and 24th, and we move our open house to the evening of the 24th. So all of those decisions will, quite frankly, will be made in the next few days, and so we'll get that information out. We'll make sure that everybody knows kind of what the schedule is and how those things work.
Yeah. Anything else you want to cover?
We have a great new program at Pioneer that we're going to be offering in the fall. First time for our high school students. It's a cybersecurity program.
That's cool. Yeah.
And so it's an exciting program. We've dabbled in it a little bit in our IT program, but if you're familiar with the region, you probably have heard that the 179th Air Base over in Mansfield at Lom Airport there is transitioning to, they have a new mission. They're going to be a cyber defense mission.
Wow. Okay.
And so. Between that and just the general need for cyber, everything is computer-based and internet-based, and so obviously security for networks as well as just everybody's personal information has become a really major requirement for just about any business. But obviously with the Air Base transitioning their mission over in Mansfield, we felt like it would be a great opportunity to give our students the option of that type of career. It's a good paying, you can get good paying jobs, as well as some kids just love that stuff. Yeah. And as I said, quite frankly, our IT program has they've dipped their toes in a little bit over the last few years by competing in what's called the Cyber Patriot competitions, actually through the Department of Defense, U.S. Department of Defense. It's a national competition that students can compete in, and so we've actually been very successful for not really being our focus. And so I think that now that it will be the focus of the program, I think we'll have some really highly qualified students come out. So those employers that are looking for a little help on the IT side, on the cybersecurity side, give us about 2 years, about a year and a half, and we'll have some really high quality candidates for you.
I believe it. The IT program at Pioneer is fantastic too.
My
son went through that. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, just everything he would. It's funny because his classmates and stuff. They all know all this. This is crazy.
Well, I gotta be honest. That's one of the programs that scares me a little bit, because the kids almost always know more than they always know more than I do. That doesn't take much, but they're always right on the cutting edge of technology because it's just what they do. And quite frankly, that's one of the really cool things about Pioneers is students come to us and they find their niche. They find they join a group of kids who have a similar interest. They get to spend half of their school day exploring and learning and just doing things that they would be doing anyway, quite frankly, especially on the IT side. Those kids just love that stuff, and they're so talented at exploring and learning. And so but then again, that's kind of what we do in all of our programs.
My daughter's in the welding program right now, and my niece is in the performing arts program there.
Oh, I guess I didn't know that. I didn't realize that part.
Yeah, which is downtown in Mansfield. It's a little bit different, a little bit different.
My daughter graduated from that program last year. She
okay.
graduated in the fall. She's a musical theater major at Kent State.
Nice. See, that's something else I don't think people realize Pioneer has.
That's been a wonderful partnership. We're right next to in the part of the Renaissance Theater in downtown Mansfield, Theater 166 in that building. We occupy the second floor, and they are wonderful partners. We get. It's a neat partnership because anytime they have their professional programs or professional troops that are coming through to put on shows, they'll use our students as to help out, kind of as interns for a few days at a time as those shows are coming in and leaving. But then when the local productions are put on, a lot of times our kids are they'll do lighting and stage work or perform in the program. We have a lot of kids that get parts in different performances there, so it's really a neat. And we have one of our instructors, a science instructor, Colton Penwell, who he's a local star at the Renaissance Theater. He's just a well-known actor as a part of the shows that they put on. So we're pretty heavily involved in the arts, and not being a talented artist myself in any way, shape, or form, I find it really fun and interesting. It's just not my thing, but as the kids are wonderful. We have great staff down there.
All right, Greg, if anybody's interested in Pioneer, how can they get in for more information about
Well,
this?
as I said, www.pioneerctc.edu is our website. You're welcome to jump on there, or www.gotopioneer.com. Either one works. And along with that, feel free to give us a call. For those folks who have students who might be interested, primarily, obviously, we target sophomores, but we're certainly welcome to, as time permits. If you have an 8th grader or a freshman that might want to come over and just kind of explore, see what the options are, we would welcome that as well. So give us a call, check out our website, see what we have to offer, and we're always excited to share the great things that are going on.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.